we'll cross that bridge
when we get there. When we get there. But now we got matters at hand. You know what I'm saying? And today I got the board. I messed up last time I got it. So the topic is there's more to collegiate sports than D1. In parentheses, I got don't think D1 a bust. And it's interesting because I just found out that we all got different takes on it. So it should be interesting. And I want Reef to go first because I want y'all to hear what he got to say. Don't think D1 a bust. Because in my opinion, I was really saying don't just limit your options to D1. You know what I mean? But we're going to get into what I'm talking about.
I was about to say, hold on.
We're going to get into what I'm talking about later. Let's go ahead, Reef.
So,
you know what I mean?
First and foremost, I mean, like, I completely agree with the aspect of don't only think D1 is the only option. As if, like, if you don't go D1, you're not playing college football. You know what I mean? That's an unrealistic thought. You know what I mean? If you really do love the game, you know what I mean, and you got another chance to play another 4 years, you're gonna play it. But the reason why I disagree with it is because I think that if you look at the aspect of the reasons why kids play a sport, right? See, they want to go to the league or they want to go to a school that they want to go to. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now, another route that we see is a lot of inner city people or people who don't have a lot of money or cash in at hand wanting to just get an education. Right. You know what I'm saying? To be able to get an education without having to pay for it, have student loans, this, that, and third.
Right.
Now, there's scholarships at Division II level. There are D2 scholarships, thank you. And there are, in certain aspects, you know, financial benefits in going to a D3 school, you know what I mean? But in all actuality of it, you get the best financial, you know, like help and the benefits when you go into D1 level. And you know what I mean? A lot of these people, a lot of these kids that are coming out of these places trying to go to school, you know what I mean? They don't have a situation where they can pay half or pay 1/4. Or, you know what I mean? They literally can't pay to go to school. And the only way they can do that is going D1. You know what I'm saying? Other than there are financial aid options and stuff like that, but you know everyone's situation is different. And me personally is just like, I don't know. I feel like as an athlete, you are going to be the competitor in you is in all factors of being an athlete. You know what I mean? Like if you really truly love the sport that you're playing, the competitor in you wants to be the best in every aspect. And so coming out of high school, I don't blame a person for thinking, listen, I'm going straight for D1. Like, D1's the only one of my options. You know what I mean? Like, if you get to the point where it comes, you know, March, April of your junior year, and you know what I'm saying, you're not getting that many looks. Start shooting a couple to D2s too. Of course, but keep your head towards those D1s. You know what I mean? Because that's the goal. Right, that's the goal. That's the goal. Right. You know what I mean? Like you don't get. We always talk about it all the time. The amount of things that they get that we don't. You know what I mean? Being the D2 players. Like you just don't get what they get anywhere else, bro. You just don't. Like So that's just my point. My take on it.
Did you want to go? Or?
Yeah, I do actually.
Go.
All right. So for sure, I definitely agree with Reef with the like D1 is the goal. Like when you coming up and you playing from little league on up, you know you want to go D1. Like that's your focus. Like you know kids that want to go to Alabama, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But one thing I will say is that it is much harder for a football player than it is a basketball player. Mainly because of the roster, bro. Y'all roster sizes. Y'all have a 52-man roster. You understand? We have a 15. You understand? So you could go D1. I mean, you could go D2, maybe D3, and still make your way up there, all the way to D1, and then probably to the league as a basketball player if you're really, really good. You understand what I'm saying? As a D2 football player, D3, it's harder to get looked at because of so many players. You understand what I'm saying? But another thing, Duncan Robinson, that plays on the Miami Heat, he started off at D3. He made it all the way to the league, and he's a starter. So it's like...
But you know my thing about that, though? And I completely agree. Like, for example, I know there's multiple players in the league right now that came from a D3 school, you know what I mean, NFL-wise, or D2 schools. But what I want everyone to look at in those aspects is how much of a separation they had from the rest of the people they were playing with. For example, Deontay Harris is a person that we played with, right? That's his name? I forgot his name.
I forgot his name.
But he plays for some shit.
He's a return man for the New Orleans Saints.
He plays for the Saints now. And
number 11?
Yeah.
Sure, kid? I was just talking about
that.
That's crazy.
He went to and you have to understand the reason why he's in the league right now. It's not because he was the best in the conference. No, it was because he was ×2 the best in the conference. Like
different.
what he was doing, no one else in the conference was touching.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you have to be that type of athlete in the D2 and D3 levels
before
you get in looks like that.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean?
Exceptional.
So it's like
sure.
you really saying there is like once you go to D2 or D3, your chances get cut in half.
For sure.
Automatically get cut in half.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because and it literally all depends on your situation. Right. A person, there's multiple people that was just as talented as Harris, but he just had the right situation and assumption to make him blossom to what he became. Right. You know how many people was in D2 and D3 schools that had his talent but didn't make it because of the situations they were in?
Facts.
And then you find in D1 you find a lot of you find more often than not schematics and teams and coaches that make you your best. In D2, you're probably gonna find a lot more coaches and schemes that are not gonna do that for you.
Are you saying those players that was like Deontay Harris, that's his name, right?
I think that's his name.
If they played,
don't fact check me on that.
But Harris, you know, he played for the Saints. That's the Harris.
If those players that was as talented as him played D1, do you think that they would have made it?
Yes,
for sure.
Yes, and I say that because you could just tell there's a difference between being a good player at D2 and being an exceptional player at D2 and D3. Right. You know what I mean? You can tell the difference. Like once you see that it about a person in the sport, you can tell at any level he could do it. You know what I'm saying? Like one of our teammates that I know, Jalen Bienemy, running back, and he's been through a lot of injuries. You know what I mean? So he's had a tough career. But at his best, you could tell that he could do something for a team at any level. You know what I mean? He has that it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's certain players that got that, and I just feel like you don't always get the situation to blossom that out. I'm talking about
D2 and D3.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Right.
See, my thing is because I'm not gonna sit here and say I disagree or I don't see where you're coming from. Right. What I was getting at is recruiting is huge. You know what I mean? Like, and it's a really complicated process, especially for those who really don't understand it. So don't just assume that just because you want to go D1, that coaches are just going to find you.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't happen on a regular basis.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You're going to have your good majority of what that happens to, but that just means that's because they were off the charts. Right. You know what I'm saying? They were getting looked at since they were in junior high school, now they're in ESPN 100, ESPN 300. Right. You know what I'm saying? Those are the athletes that coaches really start honing in on. What I was saying is, what my mom should tell me, don't put all your eggs in one basket. For sure. You know what I'm saying? Because yes, D1 is a goal and it always will be. Right. Never a time where you're not trying to strive to get to the best. You know what I'm saying? And you want to get there not just because of the fact that it's the closest to the league, but because of the amenities, like he was talking about. Like
it's
play, you know
D1.
what I'm saying? Player development. You got nutritionists, physical therapists. You got everything. You got everything at your disposal.
It's literally. I feel like at the D1 level, it's literally. How much work do you want to put in at that point? Because you have everything.
You have everything. You have everything. Academic and athletic. However you pick your poison. Right. However you want to go about it. But the thing is you got so many athletes who are trying to get that one spot on that roster. Football, basketball, baseball, soccer, whatever the sport is, thousands of athletes, because from high school to college, we know the numbers get slim. And for a lot of kids who are in those states where sports isn't as appreciated as much, are already at a disadvantage. Right. You know what I'm saying? You, like, imagine us, PSAL. We were competing to play football and basketball against dudes that come from Oak Hill or Oak Academy, whatever the case is, you know what I'm saying, in the Carolinas. Right. And then you got Bishop Gorman in Nevada, where they already get better training than some D2s and some lower level D1s in high school. IMG Academy, which is specifically built for athletes. Yep. Where you want to go play a sport, you come here because
campus.
Yo, the way
there was 1 year their whole entire senior class got D1.
D1, you know what I'm saying? So, bro, and I looked at this, bro. I looked at, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
that's crazy.
I looked at their schedule. And what they did from the time they wake up to the time they go to sleep is literally the same thing we did at Pace. They doing that in high school. Yeah. So the minute they are already being prepped, trained to do what you're supposed to do on a D1 level, and not just be there, but to flourish. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm not saying don't look at that and be discouraged. You know what I'm saying? But I just gotta remember, look at what your situation is, like you're saying. We still have D1 the goal, But for us, dudes on our level, we have a lot more obstacles to overcome to get to D1 than somebody else who's 100%. Extremely talented and is already getting looked at because they're already in a better position. So that's all I was saying. Don't, and that's what I put in parentheses. Don't think D1 or bust. You know what I'm saying? If you get to D2, if you get D3, D1 AA, don't diminish that accomplishment because you're still part of that small percentage that's playing in college from what it is in high school. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that's just as big as a deal as it is going D1. Yes, you would love to get whatever D1 is offering you. Right. You know what I'm saying? And your chances to get to the professional stage is way better. But you got to remember, yo, you can make it from any division of college. You know what I'm saying? So when I say don't think D1 or bust, you got, and there's just so much that goes into getting to D1 that you don't realize until you start putting yourself into that process.
That's a fact. And I definitely see the points that you're making. I just think that at the same time too, we have to think about the pride that goes behind it. Right. You know what I mean? And by pride, not only individually, but in terms of towns, cities. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like I know we've all been there before. We all went to school away, and you come from your area and you talk your smack about what area you're from. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, this boy went to this guy. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like people that are in our neighborhoods, are in our inner cities that don't get the options, necessary to go D1 easily. Especially because it's so hard, and we see it in our communities with everything else too. Academics, you know what I mean? Whatever it may be. It's hard, so our people don't get the chances to, or think that they have the chance to put in their best. I don't want a high school kid sitting there thinking like, oh, I'm not in a situation to, like, this is a situation that's making me hard to go D1. I want a high school kid to sit there and think, regardless of what's going on in that situation, I'm going D1. Okay. Now, granted, you might not get there, but in the whole way through, if you thinking you're going D1, making sure everything you want to do is D1, you know what I mean? You get to the point where even if you don't get to D1, bro, I know kids that were coming out of high school in the summertime, and just because they were talented, were getting picked up by D2 or D3 schools, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're that good, you're going to get picked up by somebody, for sure. Yeah. Somebody going to see you. Yeah. So, like, for me, because I look at myself personally. Now, obviously, like I said previously in the episode before, I don't regret going to Pace at all. I don't regret, doing what I did. Because in all aspects of life, it benefited me, right? Yeah. But if I sit here and think about my football aspect, right? Like if I was just thinking football was it for me, right? If you want to be honest, it wasn't a tactical move. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And by that, I mean... 100%. If let's say I sat there and really said, nah, I'm trying to go D1, and let's say I was like, nah, I'm not going D2, I'm just going to go play JUCO ball. I know a lot of kids that ended up making something in JUCO ball, you know what I mean? Now, granted, it's also a test to your character, it also is not, guaranteed, but you give yourself another option. And the thing about sports is if you a dog, some way, somehow, something finds you. Right. You know what I mean? So if you go into JUCO being a dog that you claim to be, you're going to get something. For sure. You know what I mean? For sure. So, I honestly feel like as an athlete, if you are an athlete, bro, you gotta think that way. You just got to. Now, when you there's a difference between thinking that way and then taking a loss and not knowing what to do next, or thinking that way and taking a loss and bouncing back. Okay. You know what I mean? I like that. And in all aspects of sports, you always gotta bounce back. You know, you take an L last week, you gotta mentally prepare yourself to go to the next week. Yeah. So I think it's the same thing for that. If you end up, in February, you didn't get an offer yet, your senior year, like, oh, dang. Okay, what's my next options? What's my next choices? What am I gonna go JUCO? Am I just gonna go D2 because I just don't think I'm making? But don't go into it thinking, oh dang, am I gonna go D1? I might not because everything is going on. Let me think about my options. Nah, bro, screw all that. Go for what you want. Right. It's what you want, so go get it. I know it's what you want. Ain't nobody sitting here keep striving for the D1. Yeah, ain't nobody sitting here talking about, oh, I want to go D2, but play. Ain't no athlete sitting here saying that, bro. Every athlete that's playing right now is thinking, I want to go D1. D1. So do that.
That's the attraction. You know what I mean? Attraction. We're trying to get there. Yeah. You want to say something? No. I think that's really more the point that I was getting to when you said D1 or take an L. And that's it, or take an L and bounce back. I guess what I was doing was really more referring to that take the L and bounce back type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because because even if you do get D1, especially like as they were saying, the numbers is crazy. Basketball, you only got about 15, and then you got the practice squad and everything like that. But you know how many players or how many kids pick up a ball and shoot in the park?
That's why I fake disagree with you when you said football is harder for football than basketball.
Because the numbers, it's because
from high school jump, you got a lot of kids getting killed.
Yeah,
You go to a high school basketball tryout and there's like 100 kids over there.
Play ball.
It's like 100 kids over there and there's only, what, 15 spots on the roster? Off rip, you're getting a whole bunch of people cut out. At least football, you get options, you get chances, you know what I mean? I feel like basketball's a lot harder.
I think basketball's harder.
A lot harder.
Even though there's more schools. Because every school got basketball.
Well, you got 15 man rosters.
Yeah.
That's 100 chances for you to get on the chain.
Right. And then,
got 15.
Yeah, bro.
I see what you're saying, but it's harder to get seen.
I feel like because there's so many people on the football team, you know what I mean? It creates a situation where you don't get seen that much. All right, for example, right? You because there's a mass amount of people, the coaches is obviously going to pick, favorites in who they want to play and things of that nature. But with basketball, it's just the fact that I guess there's so many people on the team, there's so little people on the team, so you get more chances and more that you show yourself. But it's more of the aspect of the pros. Like, there's 100 people doing what you're doing, bro. Look how many teams are D1 teams in basketball across the country.
It matters.
Mad at them. So you sitting here thinking that you got the chance. Oh, I'm 6 man. If I was playing football, I'll probably be. Yeah, and there's 100 other 6 men.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a second string safety on the football team is like I personally feel like it's more vital than, let's say, I don't know, I might be trying for that. I was about to say, nah, let me not.
Let
me take the baton. I was gonna say, and also in basketball, everybody plays offense, defense. But even if you're not offensively, efficient, you still on that court to play defense.
Tony Allen.
Exactly. So being that people play offense and defense, your rotation may be a lot smaller. And basketball teams don't go that deep in their bench. You'll probably get 10 players that play in the game unless you know what I'm saying, unless you really blowing somebody up. In football, you got 11 and you got 11. You know what I'm saying? If you don't play offense, you playing defense. It's very rarely, if ever, you really playing both. You know what I'm saying? So that means that it's 11 positions and you got to fight for that 11. And then you got special teams and everything like that, but if offense and defense is clicking, you're not always going to use those special teams. Like it's just hard. It's hard.
I see what y'all saying.
You know what I mean?
And at the end of the day, you just got to think about the overall talent. It's a lot harder to be talented at putting a basketball inside of a hoop than it is to be able to block someone. Right. I can get strong enough to block someone. If I can't shoot, I can't shoot.
Right. So you got 11 positions on offense. You know what I'm saying? You got 11 positions on offense. If I don't make that 11 on offense, you know what? Let me go try something on defense. If I don't got nothing on defense, maybe I'll play punt team, kickoff return, kick return. There's a lot more options for me. If like you said, if I can't shoot, that's it. I'm number 11 on the bench or grip. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it's tougher, and you got a lot more people playing. Like I know, and I'm pretty sure we all do.
But just like any sport, if you work your ass off, bro, you can make it there.
True.
Jordan.
True.
He got
Jordan was very naturally talented.
Nah, but he got sliced. Remember, he got cut. Yeah. But then for me,
but like you see how high that man was getting. That wasn't because of work, bro. He was naturally up like that.
You think he was that was all natural?
Bro, he just, you know what I think he worked on? I think that he worked on the actual craft of basketball. I think athletically, he was just, bro, he was athletic.
Yeah, he was going to get it because he played baseball pretty well. Too.
Yeah, he was athletic.
He was athletic.
He was athletic. He had to work on his craft.
But let me go back to the point that I was trying to make with take an L and bounce back. Because also when you get to that D1 level, like we've been saying, it is extremely competitive to get to the court. You know what I'm saying? You can go 3-4 years until you really start getting playing time, and that's why people transfer out. Because it's like,
was mad nice at your hub.
You feel me?
In high school.
So it's like I can sit here and I can enjoy what's being presented to me with, my own cafe for athletes and, this and that for health and recovery and everything, but I'm not playing. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I want to get on the field. So, yeah, I'm here at D1, and I know my boys back home, they loving it, everybody proud of me, but I'm a competitor. I want to play. So if that means I got to go to another D1 or step down a level just to get more playing time, then that's what's going to have to happen.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? I got to put my pride aside and be like, at the end of the day, at least I know that I'm making the most of these meaningful games that I got left. Because if I don't make it to the league, I sat on that bench for 3 years.
I feel that.
Just because I was, you know what I'm saying?
Just to say I was D1.
And it's not to say that I wasn't working. I was working, but so was him. So it's him.
I feel that.
There was other guys there before me, the ones coming up behind me, maybe, you know what I'm saying? They all working too. We all working. So it's not to say that I'm not, but at the end of the day, if I know my talent can get me somewhere further at another place, and that's what I'm getting at. There's more than just D1. So yeah, that's where you're trying to go, and that should always be the goal. You know what I'm saying? And if you're able to make an impact on the team, go ahead and do it. That's what you're there for
real.
You know, but if things don't work out the way you, because me and you, we could have transferred. You know what I'm saying? Freshman year, sophomore year, and junior year. We could have transferred, like, you know what? But, you know, we just decided to thug it out.
Yeah.
And, you know, put pedal to the middle, like, you know what, I'm here, let's get to it. And we knew that it was working for us in other aspects of life. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we kind of had things put together. Now, what if somebody don't got their head on their shoulders right, and sports is all they know? You know what I mean? And you sitting there, you like, I'm here freshman, sophomore, and junior year, and I still ain't getting on the field.
They gonna be out of there.
And I don't want to make it seem like that.
They gonna leave.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not on this high pedigree because I'm not going to D1 no more.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? So I think that's just another aspect that you got to look at. Like, yo, listen, if you got to take that, you know, that back seat to go play, because you can play at a high D2. There's some high D2s that are better than low D1s.
That's what I'm
you know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is don't just get caught up on the number beside that D shit.
Yeah, bro, you're good. Trust me, you're good.
Anybody else got anything to say?
Yo, go D1 now.
Yeah. Shoot for D1. Shoot for D1. We're not saying don't shoot for it. Shoot for it and strive for it, man.
As hard as you can.
Yo, yeah, because to get to D1 is different.
Especially if you live in New York.
Especially if you live in New York, bro. It's more than just doing what you got to do on the field, man. There's some other things you got to tackle off the field, whether it be SAT scores, academics, getting out there to go see coaches, contacting coaches.
Don't be having no 79, 68 GPAs.
Right.
Tired of y'all, bro.
We always gonna emphasize education.
OD
talk.
Are you telling me?
We always gonna emphasize education on here because it's key. You know what I'm saying? It was told to us.
Propel, bro.
It was told to us, and we've seen it firsthand of how it can impact us and players around us. You know what I'm saying? So we always gonna emphasize it. Make sure the books is together. Make sure them test scores is together. I'm telling you, whatever you got to do to get yourself better in those aspects, do it. And continue to put that work in on the field, in the court, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying, you playing on. You got to make sure that you, day in and day out, you stay focused.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? You stay dedicated to your craft.
Facts.
Because that's the only way you're going to get there. Ain't no handouts around here. No handouts.
None at all.
Everything earned, nothing given.
Sure.
So that's it, man. We're going to wrap it up with that. Make sure y'all check us out on IG. You know what I mean? And we on Apple Podcasts at the Discussion Board Podcast, man. We're going to holler at y'all.
Yeah, we're going to need y'all to follow us again. Yo, keep the follows. You know, like, subscribe, follow. Keep it going. Keep it way up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Say that.